So a lot of people have been reaching out to me about mixing advice. Sometimes I get specific questions on what frequency has to be boosting for a kick drum, or what I should be cutting out to get rid of mud or something. And sometimes it's not as simple as just giving them the straight up answer, because as you know, when you mix, every mix is different and you have to approach it in a certain way. You apply the techniques that you've learned after doing it for so long. And it's hard to pinpoint what were the exact things that you did that help you get better at mixing. You can say the same thing for any skill, any art, repetition. But there comes a point where you just know it in your heart that you have gotten professional sounding mixes. I have a hard time explaining how to get good mixes because after doing it for so long, you develop an ear, and when you're in a session and you hear the raw stems, you can already hear the track finished in your head. This also applies to songwriting and arranging. I'll write a song on acoustic guitar and I'll already hear the production and everything finished in my head. I just need to apply what I've put the time in to learn and make it happen. It's hard to explain, but when I hear an idea in my head, I make sure that I record it as a voice memo, because if you don't, it's gone forever. The universe offers you one single thing, and you have to put it out there or it's going to be gone forever. Once I put the idea down as a voice memo, it's pretty easy for me to recreate it inside of my DAW. I'm going off on a tangent, but the point I'm trying to get here is trying to get your mixes sounding better by adding more plugins, by doing more, thinking that one thing is going to change your mixes. But the one thing that will help your mixes get better is if you have a vision. When I say vision, I mean sonic vision. Just like I said before, when you hear stems in a session, you can already hear it finished. To me, I would call that vision sonically, and how it sounds sonically, how you can get it to sound at the end goal. If you already know what the end result is, the next question is, how do I get there? This is where putting in more time with the tools you already have versus obtaining more tools and taking time away from the tools you already have. But in order to master the tools you have to have a vision. They go hand in hand. If you have the time put in / experience and a vision, you will get to the finish line. My final point is, whatever genre you're mixing, familiarize yourself with that genre heavily. Critically listen to the best mixes within that genre and say, I want my mixes to sound like that. Once you've identified and studied the genre and you know what you want your mix to sound like, you now have a vision. You apply your experience and knowledge of mixing within that genre and combine that with your vision. That is how you get good mixes. Here's an example. Say you love country music. You listen to multiple different country songs, the best country songs ever, the best mixes. How do the drums sound? Are they all similar? Do they all have similar production? Are the guitars the loudest? Are the vocals the loudest? What frequencies occupy those mixes? After critically listening to that genre, when you go to mix, it's going to be a lot easier to get to the finish line. And it also helps if you're very passionate about the genre. In my case, I love reggae. It's my favorite genre ever, and I always want to strive to make sure my mixes sound the best. So I look for the best mixes in the game. In layman's terms, it's mastering the basic tools and knowledge you need to know for mixing, and knowing what you want your mixes to sound like, aka your vision. I could have just said that from the beginning, but I wanted to give a little bit of context with a personal approach, because anyone can say you get better at mixing by doing it more. I mean, that's a simple way to say it. Yes, if you do it more, you will get better at it. It took me a while to figure out. It didn't take overnight. I started back in 2014. Here we are today. You just get better and better with more experience you put in and how you approach it. And first of all, it starts with being passionate about a certain genre. The more passionate you are about a specific genre, the more that you're going to want to mix that genre and get it to sound the best you can. And once you've mastered that genre, then you are able to apply your skills that you've learned to other genres and then repeat the process. By doing this, you will be able to hear how a mix sounds finished in your head by just listening to the raw stems in a session. Last time, guys, I promise, familiarize yourself with the genre you love. Familiarize yourself with the sonic characteristics and elements within that genre, and master the basics of mixing techniques. Once you've done that, your mind will want to explore other genres to mix and get better at. Once you move on to that other genre, you'll know what to do. I started mixing and producing reggae. Now I want to mix metal. Yes, complete opposite. I started out with metal, but I never thought that I would want to mix it. And I just heard a lot of recent new metal mixes. And I'm like, man, I want to start mixing that stuff because I'm really familiar with that genre already. So why not do it? Thank you guys for listening to me babble. This is something that's been on my mind for a while, and I just wanted to share personal experience so you guys could get a little bit of knowledge. This one goes out to all starting engineers that have hit a brick wall and are like, how do I get better mixes? It'll happen. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track. I've noticed a lot of growth mixing and production wise, and I feel like this was a good place to gather my thoughts and track my progress. It will be cool to look back at this video one day. I hope it has helped everybody out a little bit. I know experienced mix engineers probably won't get anything out of this, but either way, I'm glad I got it out there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't, please like the video, hit subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. It really helps us out. Thanks again, guys. Y'all have an awesome one. Peace out.